So what we'd like to do now is like to play some of the key highlights from what Kenny Smith had to say, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to his comments here.
I know the question I got to ask because you're the perfect guest.
Okay.
Playing at North Carolina with Michael Jordan.
In the same backcourt.
In the same backcourt. This is what the people want to know. It's not even me. I'm standing up for the people at this moment. Could Michael Jordan go left?
This is what I'm dealing with.
This is the hypocrisy of idiocy that is going on right now.
This is what the people want to see, man.
Michael Jordan go left.
You haven't heard we done with the 90s?
No, but listen what I'm saying. I'm serious.
Yeah. Help him.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
No, you serious.
You know what?
No, I'm not serious. I'm not serious.
You know
gotta
what that would be
explain
like? That's like saying, can Prince play the guitar?
That's
Fair
a great
enough.
word.
Like, yeah, he had people in the band that played it.
Yeah.
But then that's Michael Jordan, man. Like, Michael Jordan was the most complete basketball player that's ever lived. Complete. Like, Kareem was just as effective. Certain people could be, LeBron at times could be just as effective. But the most complete basketball player that ever lived is Michael Jordan. Completeness.
Preach.
So, like, his ability to do every aspect of basketball at the highest level. And I think that came from going to college. Because in college, the best...
I'm glad you're talking. I said that when he got to the pros, he had no weaknesses.
He had no weaknesses. Because what happens is, what college does, the best coaches are in college basketball. Because there's more. The best ones are there. So they design defenses and offenses that are different from the NBA. So you learn how to play against a zone defense. You learn how to play against a man-to-man, 1-3-1, 2-1-2. You know different defenses. NBA is just strict man-to-man. But your philosophies and thought process is from a totality of all of those defenses. Yeah. So now the game is easier for you, and you're much more easier. What I always say about Michael, what's different between even the great Kobe Bryant and great LeBron James is, he was still the most fundamental basketball player. Like, LeBron's IQ is crazy, but the most fundamental, when you watch LeBron, you don't always say he's most fundamental.
Yeah.
So, correct hand in the passing lane. But that was Michael. He was the best athlete and the most fundamental because he went to college for 3 years and developed certain things. You know, Michael Jordan, those 3 years in college, imagine he only went 1 year. Oh my God, or none. Michael Jordan, most complete basketball player. Y'all average dudes would have been average. Y'all would have been average. You wouldn't have been great. You would not have been. You're a specialist. You might not have been in the league.
There are people that believe, as crazy as it sounds, I've heard this and I'm sure you've heard it, that there's a dude in prison or a dude in the streets that was better than Michael Jordan, just didn't get an opportunity. There's people that believe that.
Listen, man. That's like saying there's a dude in prison that could have done what Steve Jobs done.
It's not my opinion.
I didn't say you. I said
Michael Jordan
you heard
is
that
Steve
argument.
Jobs.
I've heard that before.
He's the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs of basketball.
Yeah.
Is there a guy, if he's there, I hope he gets out. There's no one like that. He is the most complete basketball player. And then there's two. There's two.
Yeah.
Most effective, like LeBron James is effective. He can impact the game. You know that, but I just don't think defensively is where, that's the separation to me, is where defensively, we used to run, I don't know if y'all did this, we used to run plays, right? We go, okay, our coach, Rudy T, be writing on the board, he's like, okay, we're gonna run 5. But if Michael's on the right side, we're gonna run it on the left. It's like, all right, say it one time, right? You think it's a joke. So in my mind, I know Michael as Mike, so I'm still listening as he's still my boy, kind of. And he goes, okay, and we're going to run 21, but if Michael's on the left side, we're going to run, and he'd go down each play and say where Michael was, and we're going to run it on a different side. That's the impact defensively had. Did they do that? I don't know.
Absolutely.
That's the part that even when I talk to coaches, they don't say that he has that impact. LeBron has the same effect on the offensive end that Michael has because it's passing, rebounding. But on the defensive end, that's the caveat that separates it.
So you heard what Kenny Smith had to say, right? He brought up some good points, and he was talking about the most fundamentally sound player of all time. And actually, before producing this show, we put up some polls on our channel to get a sense of what the audience feels about the most skilled players and the most fundamentally sound players. So the first poll we put up about 6 hours ago has about 5,000 voters this far. If you haven't voted, please make sure you go ahead and do it. The question was, who's the most complete player on this list? 3 players: Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe. Oh, and by the way, this is actually the first time I'm sitting down looking at these results, and I think it's fantastic because people like to make it seem like, oh, I'm the one that changes the polls and Dreamerspro puts up these pro Kobe Bryant polls. Well, there's a poll here. Who's the most complete player on this list? Out of the 5,100 voters, 69% voted for Michael Jordan, 18% voted for LeBron James, 13% voted for Kobe Bryant. How did that work? Did I go out there and make? No, these were people voted. And I'm not going to sit up here and start crying all over the comments for it. That's the first poll. If you have an opinion, please make sure you go leave a vote and leave a comment below. The poll we put out right after that was, who's the most fundamentally sound player on this list? The same 3 players: Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. 70% voted for Jordan, 8% voted for LeBron James, 22% voted for Kobe Bryant. That's what the audience think. Now, what is the overall message with all of this? The overall message is people agree with Kenny that Michael Jordan is the most complete and fundamentally sound player to ever live. Look, he brought up a point that I'd never considered, which was how teams would game plan for Jordan because of his defensive prowess. I never thought, how would I know that? Because I never game planned for Michael Jordan, right? But he was basically saying that coaches would basically modify where they run their offense on the floor based on what side Jordan was playing on. I was like, what? Bro, do you know how much of a threat you have to be on the basketball court for coaches to do